In just the first 7 months of the year, the Tucson Police Department has already investigated 38 murders. That's 12 more than this time last year. 2021 has brought on more sirens rushing to murder scenes.
There are a spike of bad actors. There are an increase in people who are up to no good and doing nefarious things.
Lieutenant DOGGETT is the commander of the violent crime sector at the Tucson Police Department. He says while homicides are up, the department can't pinpoint why.
In our investigations, we can see that they're usually isolated incidents revolving around known suspects or the known participants, and there's sort of an escalation of violence that leads to a shooting and oftentimes death.
He says firearms are involved a majority of the time and adds the trend has led the department to shuffle around resources.
We have adjusted detectives over to our homicide unit, increase those numbers, and they're also working with other homicide and other investigative units to support us on homicide scenes.
Behind every one of the investigations are loved ones impacted by the loss. That's where Homicide Survivors Incorporated comes in.
Homicide Survivors is standing early on in the year when we began to hear the phones continue to ring, the referrals continue to come in. And it hasn't stopped since.
DANIELA is a bilingual victims advocate. Her job is to help the families involved understand the legal system and help them maneuver through the emotional and financial impacts that follow.
It's not something that they were able to prepare for, of course, and that comes with the big toll because it's a lifetime of having to grieve someone that you loved dearly.
While the Tucson Police Department and Homicide Survivors Incorporated want the trend to stop, the nonprofit wants those who've lost a loved one to know they aren't alone.
It is incredibly isolating, and it's hard for others to understand how to support. And so I think it's most important for our community to know that we're here and we're ready to support.
The Tucson Police Department says if you have any information on the homicides in our community, to call them. Sierra Encinas, que ganan on your side.